You know what, Sam?
What?
Merry Christmas.
Yes. Merry Christmas. Well, Sam, it is Christmas time. And just happy holidays to all of you huge Caniacs out there, whether you celebrate Christmas or not.
What, huge
And
Caniac Sean Connery, right?
yeah, huge Caniac Sean Connery. He's dead, though, isn't he?
No!
I thought he was dead.
No, Sean Connery's not
Still
dead.
alive?
Now I'm going to have to Google it. I'm pretty sure Sean Connery's alive. Sean Connery dead.
I thought he was. I could be wrong about that. Yeah, he did die.
Oh. For some reason, I thought he hadn't died yet.
No, he did. How was? Yeah,
now I'm sad.
I knew he died. I'm sorry, Sam. I'm sorry.
Wow.
But hey, it was hey, you know, it was not me that brought up Sean Connery. It was Trip Crazy that brought up Sean Connery in today's game against the Rangers.
That's true, and that was a good game. That was a fun game.
Yes, and we will recap that. Now, obviously, just letting you guys know, if you're listening to us, that this week of episodes, not just this episode, but Friday's episode, might look a little bit differently just because, especially with Friday's episode, there's no games to recap and no news to cover. So Sam and I really actually just discussed about what we're going to be doing before we recorded. So you'll be receiving a different type of episode for Friday. Yep. But for this episode, two acts kind of for this episode. The last half is going to kind of be the same. We'll be recapping both games, Washington and the Rangers. And for the first part, we're going to do something festive here. But as always, there is a link for donations. And if you feel like you want to donate to us, there's a link to that in both on YouTube if you're watching us, and if you're just listening to us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, it's in the description on that episode as well. So, Sam, what we're going to be doing to celebrate the holiday season is we're going to try and unpack some presents here. Because, yeah, again, I was kind of making the ideas I was driving back to the apartment tonight, but what we're going to be doing is what are 3 presents you want from the Hurricanes for the rest of this season. So, Sam, how do you want to do this? You want to start at number 3, or do you want to do your 3 first and then my 3 first? How do you want to do this?
I'll do my 3 first, and then we'll do your 3.
Okay. All right. So, what are 3 presents you want from the Hurricanes for the rest of this year? It could be anything. It could be player related. It could be trade related, contract related.
Uh-huh.
Again, this is going to be fun because it's Christmas time.
Let's see. From Pyotr Kochetkov, I would like for him to hold on to his stick just a little bit tighter. And to close up that 5-hole. 2-1. From Sebastian Aho, I want to see him take it up a notch. See him score some more.
Okay.
And from Marty Natchez, I want 50 more points from him.
50. Okay.
I want 50.
Alrighty. So here's my question to you: Why are they all player related?
Because that's what I want the most from
these guys. That's what you want.
That is what I want the most from these guys.
So you want Natchez to be at least what, 90 points?
Yeah.
for this season.
Yep.
Okay. If he does get 90 points, he's going to be commanding quite a bit of a contract. You do
So
realize
what?
that, right?
Fine with me as long as we give it to him.
Yeah. Fine with me, too. I think he is that talented, although he has slowed down quite a bit recently.
Every
And
player gets on a little bit of a slump. Look at Connor McDavid.
they do.
Even if he can go on a slump, I think Netches can too.
Kochetkov holding on to his stick.
I thought that was a
And
little
the
bit
five
funny.
hole.
I was trying to
That
be
is
funny.
I know Corey Lovelite, who has been on this podcast before, on X, he kind of gives us fans an update on the amount of times Kochetkov lost his stick. Where are we at, Sam? 32, 33?
Feels like it's 100.
It does feel like 100.
Especially when he does things like throw his stick in the air like he did against, oh Lord, what game was that? The Islanders?
Yeah, it was the Islanders.
Yeah.
And he lost his stick again against the Rangers. Again, we will review that, though. But Kochetkov, there are times where I'm like, I'm going to glue that stick to his glove if I have to. So, yeah. And then you said Aho to
kick it up a notch. I just want to see.
Up.
I want to see Angry Aho because we haven't seen Angry Aho this year.
No, we haven't. I think those are two good presents to want to have from the Hurricanes, and I'm gonna list my three. And this is gonna be on the spot too because I didn't think about my three. But number 3, my third present that I would like from the Hurricanes is I would like for Jackson Blake to get at least 30 points. I think he can do it. He has hit a wall, but he's a rookie.
Yeah.
But I think he has the caliber to reach 30 points.
Blake?
Yeah, Jackson Blake.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's reasonable.
Yes. And my second present is going to be on Svechnikov. I'd like to get over 30 goals this season from Svech. If we can get over 30 from him, I think that's a good season from Svech. That's my reasoning.
I'd like to see him get closer to 40, but yeah, 30 I think at this point would be good.
Because he's another player, like I would say, that needs to kick it up a notch. So
yeah. Yes, completely agree. Him. You need more from Aho.
Yeah, Aho and Svech, both your top 6 players.
Yeah.
And to me, number 1, Sam, it relates to goaltending, and that is not related to a player. It's related to Eric Tulsky and Tom Dundon. And why what is an NHL backups or 1B goalie.
Yeah. I agree. I think Kochetkov played a hell of a game against the Islanders and played a hell of a game tonight against the Rangers. But you still need another guy because you never know if Kochetkov's going to fall back.
Yeah,
it's called an insurance policy.
Well, here's the thing. I think we have insurance policies in Martin and maybe Tokarski. Obviously, we need to see more from him to see if he has an insurance policy. Well, we need an NHL regular goalie, and Martin and Tokarski are not it. They're just not.
I mean, you're right.
But, I mean, and you know what? Let's go ahead and talk about Kochetkov because, like I just said, Sam, I think 5 minutes ago with you, the past 3 games, he's led in one bad goal. Now it's against Washington.
Yeah.
And I hope that we're starting to see him round into form like he did against Ottawa last year. And after that game at Ottawa, he was doing fantastic. But he had Anderson with him.
Yeah.
So the question is, can he do this alone?
And that's always going to be the question, right? And this is also going to answer the idea of like, is Kochetkov the guy? Can he be the guy? First off, so that's going to be a real interesting situation, and we have to wait and see what he can do because we don't know yet.
No, we do not. I'm being it. Does it sound like that there's an urgency from the front office on getting
Yeah,
a goalie?
there actually is, from what I've seen online and from some other sources. It does seem like that is something that the organization would make the move now if the deal was right. There is a desire to do that, but like they weren't willing to pay the price for Blackwood, which by the way I agree with. I wouldn't have paid that price either for Blackwood. I would have paid the price for Wedgwood from Nashville. I would not have paid the price that Colorado played for Blackwood.
No, I completely agree on that. But I would say the goalie that the Hurricanes could eye on, it's not Gibson. It's actually not. But if I mean, it's going to be tough because they've been playing, I think, pretty good, even though I think they lost today. Is going to Utah and see what the price is for Vanacek. But they're in the
Vanacek.
playoff hunt.
I would not want
So
Vanacek or
it's probably
Vemelka.
going to be a little bit difficult to try and get him.
Vanacek or Vemelka.
I'm sorry, Vamilka. My bad.
I would say, God, dude, I don't want Vanacek. I think he's on San Jose
Vamilka.
anyway.
My bad.
Okay, yeah.
I'm
So Kirill
sorry. I'm
Vamilka.
sorry. I meant Vamilka. Sorry. They both start with a V, okay? Give me a break.
Yeah, Karel Vamilka is one of the guys. Ville Husso, Jack Campbell. I've said before. In my mind, you don't have to go out and get some. You don't have to go out and get a John Gibson. One, I don't want John Gibson. I don't want another goalie who has injury history. It's a bad injury history. So I really, really, if I get to go out and have my pick of a goalie, it's probably Karel Vamilka. If I get to go out and just pick a goalie based off of cost, it's Jack Campbell. If I'm going in the middle, it's probably Ville Husso. So Detroit has to fall off a little bit more, and I think so will Utah to make those deals happen. And that's the problem is they're not looking to sell them off yet. They haven't given up on their season, and that's what you have to wait to see happen. Is if they give up on the season, are they willing to move the goalies?
Yeah, because I mean, I'm just looking at a few teams here that could possibly be selling goalies. I don't know. Do you look at Dan Vladar from
No.
Calgary? Maybe. I just don't know. I mean, Seattle. I just don't think Seattle. I don't think Ron Francis is willing to deal with the Hurricanes.
No. Again, rip his jersey down and burn it. I don't care.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't. Sometimes you gotta do what's necessary in order to get NHL goalie.
Yeah, but I also don't think I wouldn't.
Sometimes you do.
No reason to deal with Francis. But you can deal with some other teams that are out there. I don't. Calgary is playing good enough that they're not going to sell off. They're still in the thick of it.
Mrazek, maybe from Chicago.
I would love Mrazek to come back, but I don't think they're going to give up Mrazek. I would.
Yeah.
You can make. They just sign him to an extension. But if you can get Mrazek as a good complement to Kochetkov, I'm fine with that. But I don't know if this team wants two goalies that have we'll just say, very, very, very hot personalities.
Yeah. There's another goalie, but I don't know if any team wants their goalies considering the 13-game losing streak that they're on. James Reimer.
I would take Reimer if you can get him for on the cheap. Reimer always won here. You know, if you want a guy who was steady Eddie and could win games, I'm okay with bringing Jimmy back. I affectionately call him Jimmy. I love Reimer. He was a great Hurricane. Yeah, I bring Reimer back if you can make that deal work. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Yeah, so there I would say are probably 4 goalies that I think the Hurricanes might consider. Like what? Mrazek, Huso, maybe Reimer, Vamilka from Utah. Those are just a few options right there.
My
But
guess is if the goalie's available, they're probably looking at it.
oh yes, definitely. To me, what surprised me though, Sam, is Anton Forsberg was a player that they were possibly interested in. I'm just like Anton Forsberg. I just don't know.
I
Don't
mean,
know.
look, if you can get him, but Ottawa's playing so good right now, I don't think they're going to move a goalie.
No, I don't think they are right now either. But listen, hey, I've always thought Ottawa would be a playoff team, and they're certainly playing like it. But Sam, that's kind of the end for the whole holiday presents thing. We hope you
Yeah,
enjoyed that and our discussion on goalies because I thought that'd be interesting with
yeah.
how Kochetkov has been playing recently. But let's get to a couple of our sponsors, Sam, and then we'll recap the two games. It's the most wonderful time of the year for getting in on all the hoops, football, and hockey action at DraftKings Sportsbook. In the season of giving, we're being gifted college football and basketball, pro football and basketball, and pro hockey too, almost 24/7. And here's a gift for all new customers: bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you bet just $5. Happy holidays from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Blue Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/bball. One of the things I like about watching hockey is the physical play we get to see, which is why Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes it easy to see your favorite team, concerts, or shows. One of the upcoming games I am looking forward to is a Canes versus Capitals game in January. And yes, that is my co-host Sam, if you heard him. They have a few super deals that are under $100 in lower level seating. That's why one of my favorite features is the super deal. Remember, you can also get a view from your seat in the app before you apply. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code THPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code THPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. Okay, Sam, it is game time. We have two games to review, and it is the start of a 4-game road trip.
Yep.
And Sam, I would say overall, like if you look at this road trip in general so far, they're playing up to my expectations. They're not playing down. They're not playing above, like playing amazing, but they're playing at it.
Yeah.
And that's the to me the big thing. Now, do I still think there are some things at the micro level that needs to be better? Absolutely. But looking at it from bigger perspective, Canes are playing where I think they're playing at right now.
Yeah, I mean, the problem we have with this team is they're playing 500 hockey or just below 500 hockey. So would like to see them string some wins together starting today against the Rangers, and they won. So that's one. You want to see them probably win another. I would love for them to win these next two against the Devils. Like I would really love, or the game against Nashville, and then at least that first game against the Devils. Preferably both, because that'd be a great way to get make up some ground in the division and create separation from the teams below you in the division as well to win those two against the Devils. But yeah, the road trip on par, you're 50-50. And we both said if you can go either win 2 to 3 of those this road trip, I think you're looking good.
Mm-hmm.
And but I'm I want to win those 2 against the Devils. And that's just the thing. I know one's at home, but
We'll see. I think if we can win against Nashville, I think you can afford to lose one of the games against New Jersey. Just one, though. But again, I just don't know. But seriously, I do think if you can win against Nashville, should take the pressure off of the game against New Jersey. If you lose at New Jersey, at least you get a possible 4 out of 8 points on this road trip. So we'll see how those 2 games go. But let's start with the Washington game, Sam. And what's funny is both of these games ended in a 3-1 fashion. We lost a game that ended in 3-1, and we won a game that ended in 3-1.
yeah, that's true. I didn't realize that until you just said it. It's true.
Yeah, so let's talk about the losing side first
Oh
against
no!
Washington.
No.
Yeah. Let's talk about this game, Sam.
You talk. I'm gonna read.
No, you are in this conversation, mister. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't need to see you bringing out a book called War and Peace and you just reading that.
Let's see here. I can read. I'll
What
read.
can you read?
I'll read. Writing a
Political
research
science.
writing a research paper in political science.
Is that one of your textbooks?
It was. I don't even know if I ever read it. I bought all these textbooks. I hardly touched them, and I still passed both of my classes, which is kind of funny.
That is funny, actually. But let's get to the Washington game. So, Sam, first period, frustrating because you have Alexei Prochas. That's how you pronounce it, right?
I don't remember.
But I mean, one thing I thought he played I thought he was probably one of Washington's best players against us that game. But
Yeah.
he scores, and I mean that goal I don't really blame on Kochetkov because it was a goal that I believe was a tip. Right? I believe it was. I just want to be sure.
Here. Yes, the first goal against the Caps was a tip. That's why I had no problem with it. It was a great shot, great tip, like elite tip.
Yeah, that's right. It was. And I mean, again, I think the Hurricanes are playing fine, to be honest, and here in the first period. And second period, I mean, throughout most of the game, I thought the Hurricanes were playing fine. It's just our star players could not take it to the next level. And you're going to notice that both in the Washington and the Rangers game.
Yeah.
It's been a theme here on this this 2 game recap and this month. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
But it's to me the top 4 forwards and Svetch, Aho, Jarvis, and Netchus. Just not really. There's more to give, and they're not really giving that, even though they're not playing poorly as well. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I guess like you said, they're not playing poorly, but it's one of those things where they're not playing poorly if they were like a third, fourth line player. But you want more from them. It's if you're Aho, Jarvis, Kochetkov, Natchez, you need to get more. Now, I think Natchez is getting a little bit of a bye from criticism from us and in general because he started out so freaking good, where he's earned, I guess you could say, a little bit of a drop off, but you still need him to figure it out and bring it back. And Aho we haven't seen his potential this season. In my mind, it's just not there. And Svetch just needs to shoot the puck. Like, good God, man, shoot the puck. And then Jarvis, in my mind, I don't know if this is a player problem or personnel problem, as much as I think it is a coaching problem where Jarvis is concerned. He just really hasn't had a consistent line mate for a while now.
Well,
So I'm hoping he stays with Aho for a while, and they can build back to what Jarvis can do.
I was about to say Brenda Moore has consistently throughout a few games now have Jarvis with Aho. So not much to blame with Brenda Moore there. It's now all on the player to actually get that chemistry with Aho, and I
Yeah,
think he can.
yeah, I do
We
too.
saw some of that chemistry in the Islanders game.
Yes. So I want to see that continue, and I believe, like you said, I believe it can.
Yes. In fact, I would say we saw against Washington, which we will that was the only one goal that we had. But Sam, the turning point of the Washington game though, because I actually thought the best period the Hurricanes had was that second period. They were really doing good. And it was a battle of goalies. Like both goalies are playing well. Kochetkov making big saves. And Washington's goalie, it wasn't Thompson that played. I know that. Thompson did not play for Washington. It was I'm bringing up the roster here. It was Lindgren. That's right, Charlie Lindgren.
Yeah,
We do have a connection to Lindgren, by the way.
yeah, we do.
He's been on the show before,
Yeah,
Alex.
yeah,
But I mean, Lindgren, he was playing very, very good as well.
and
But
the reports came out from the media that he was sick. And Tripp said on the broadcast today that Lincoln threw up in the second intermission.
really,
Yeah,
oh, I didn't know that.
first or second intermission, but he threw up during one of the breaks. Yeah, he was really sick.
Dang, and he still was able to.
Yeah.
All props to Lindgren because he was making jaw dropping
Oh,
saves.
Lindgren was outstanding. I'm not even mad necessarily at the loss as much as like it's hats off. Lindgren played one of the best games of his career. Just nothing was going to beat him.
Yes, but again, this was one of those games where even though Kochetkov played great, the second goal
Yeah.
by Verana, you need to
Yeah.
have. And
Yeah.
to me, that was the turning point of that Washington game, where it was just a normal transition play from Washington.
Yep.
You have, I believe it was, Laperriere. You pass it to Verana on the left hand side of the rink, and Kochetkov was drifting, Sam. He really was drifting, and Verano was able to get it on the far side,
Yep.
glove side of
Yep.
Kochetkov, and boy, that was just a bad goal to allow. And I mean, Carolina didn't really play well after that. That's the thing. And honestly, like, even though I'm not saying this is an excuse for the players,
Yeah.
but if I was a player playing in front of Kochetkov, where Kochetkov was on my team, of course, like I'd start playing a little bit deflated too, considering I'm like, oh well, here we go, another bad goal he let in again. Like it is discouraging, is it not? If you were playing on the same team
Yeah.
as Kochetkov,
Yeah. I mean, when that happens, it's like, it's deflating because it's a savable shot. It wasn't like it was a great shot, but it can't. Well, as like he said it before, as Adam Gold says it. Cam Ward always said you're only as good as the goal you allow, and you've said too. Cam Ward let in some bad ones, but he didn't let them. He was when he got to the playoffs. Cam Ward was best of the best of the best when it came to playing in the playoffs. And he's right. You're only as good as the goals you allow, and that was a bad goal. And maybe if Carolina, if that second goal doesn't go in, maybe it's a different game. Maybe we get a point. You don't know. Maybe we win a race. You don't know. And when you let in a bad goal, it's always deflating. And it deflated the team, and you're down 2 instead of down 1. And it's hard to come back against a team that's been playing very well this season.
yep. And to put more salt in the wound, Sam, you have Connor McMichael scoring to make it 3-1. And to be honest, I actually don't blame Kochetkov on that because he was screened perfectly as the shot was being made. But here's the thing: you have Brent Burns right in front of him.
Yeah.
That was his man because Fetch had to cover, I believe, the right-handed defenseman. That's kind of Burns' player, and he just lets him shoot. It's like, come on, Burns, you got to play defense there.
Look, I've said it before. I'll say it again.
You were very vocal about Burns after that game, though.
Yeah, and I'm done with it. I think Brent Burns was a heck of a defenseman, and to have him on this team has been nothing short of an honor and just awesome for those of us who watched over the last 10, 15 years of hockey to see a guy like Brent Burns want to come to Raleigh. Like, that's awesome because that just wasn't the case 5, 6 years. Like, that wasn't the case 8, 9 years ago. No one wanted to come here. And Burns waived his no trade clause to come to Carolina. But Father Time always wins. He never loses. He always wins. And Burns is old. He just is. For a hockey player, he's old. Rod Brindamore is in great shape, but Rod Brindamore could not play a National Hockey League game today. Just not how that is. Brent Burns is in great shape. But he's older. He's slower. He's not as fast anymore. And when I was watching the national broadcast, they talked about Carolina should bring Burns back. And I'm like, no. You have a player in Scott Morrow and Nikishin coming in. You don't need Burns anymore. You just don't. And if you don't believe in Morrow, bring Orlov back, but don't bring Burns back.
I agree. Now, and the thing is with Burns, that he's known for the offense that he brings.
Yeah.
It's just this year he hasn't really brought it. Now, even though he had his defensive responsibility, especially for that goal, wasn't good. I mean, has he been maybe a little bit more defensive? Yeah, probably. But to me, the big thing with Burns, though, is that this is his last year of his contract. Yeah. So I think he probably needs to retire after the season. It's the last year of his contract. At least with Burns, Sam, it's not like an awful contract that extends 3 to 4 years.
Thank God.
Down the road.
Thank God.
That's the big thing.
Yeah. Look, I really do like Brent Burns, and I loved the trade when we made it, and we got 2 good years out of him. It's just the third year isn't as good, and people are going to say his defense has been better. I don't care. That is not why you have Brent Burns. You have him skip points, and he's not producing at all. And look, Father Time always wins. And it's shame, and it's no shame that you're a 40-year-old player and it's you're having a down year, because that's just natural. And I'm frustrated, but it's also at the same time it's like it's expected.
It is. It really is. But Sam, Hurricanes actually do get a goal. I was actually happy about that, considering not so long ago we did get shut out by Ottawa. Yeah. I was like, please at least get a goal, and we did. Funny enough, Burns gets an assist, but
yeah,
but you
still
have
had a bad game.
Yeah, he did not have a good game. But Aho and Svetch were able to show some of the chemistry that we know they can produce. They're passing back and forth. Jarvis eventually has the puck, and he kind of snipes it behind Lindgren. I mean, great shot, great goal. Yeah. Probably gave me some hope. Again, some. But ultimately, Washington won 3-1. And I knew this was going to be probably one of the toughest road trip games, and it was early, so I was like, okay, let's see what happens for the rest of this road trip. Let's just see what happens. I'm not going to overreact to this loss. And now we get to the Rangers game, Sam.
Yep.
This game, do I still think we had some of the problems from the Washington game? Yes, but we got better results. And in the first period, 17 seconds in, Sam, you have Jimmy Vesey scoring on a tip in. And again, with tip ins, can't really blame the goalie. Usually can't. Sometimes you kind of have to use your eye test sometimes to see if that was a good goal give up or not. But
It was a defensive breakdown in my mind.
Yeah, it was. Now, granted, Sam and I did not watch a lot of the first period. I was
Yes.
able to only watch like the last 3 minutes of the first period.
I caught the last 4 to 5.
So we were already down 1-0 because he scored 17 seconds in. But from what I've heard and from what I saw from the rest of the first period, Sam, is Carolina was able to kind of get back to their mojo.
Yeah, they
And
built a game because I thought they were excellent.
yeah,
From
I
what I
thought they
saw.
were. Yeah, I thought they were excellent too. Couple players that stood out for me, I would say honestly, I thought Sean Walker had a really good game.
Yeah, I agree.
Jack Roslovic, I think, played his probably best game as a Hurricane against his former team against
Yep.
the Rangers, and Kochetkov is making just jaw-dropping saves. And I've had, I would say, one of this. I believe it was a save on Chris Kreider.
Yeah, it was.
On the shorthanded goal that really tipped the game because Kreider was all alone. He was able to Kochetkov was able to knock it down with his skates, and obviously I think at that point we did tie it because Carrier tied it 1-1 from Slavin and Stahl,
Yep.
and I mean obviously the game started out with actually Svetch playing with Stahl and Martinuk. I did not like that, but Brind'Amour eventually did put that line back together. And that line has just been great. I don't know why Brind'Amour started out with that line being, well, was it?
He had Carrier off that line to start the game.
It was throughout at the start of the game, but it was throughout the.
No, he didn't.
Eventually put them back, didn't
no, he
he?
didn't.
Or
No.
No, he did not. My bad.
It
Sorry.
was we scored that at the end of a power play, and it's a bump up shift for Carrier there because Svetch was playing on the power play.
That's right.
So when that happens, Stahl, Carrier, and Martin go out, and that's why they scored. That's why they were all out on the ice together for that, and they've been excellent. So I don't really care if you're on the road or not on the road. I think that line needs to stick together.
Yes, it does. But you did correct me there, Sam. Carrier, Stahl, and Marta never played a full. Well, I mean, they played somewhat of a full line.
They played after power plays. They'll play together.
Yes, so they did play together some, but it was mainly Svetch, Stahl, and Martinuk.
Yep.
And again, I just don't like that. But obviously, whenever. To me, it's obvious with Brind'Amour. Whenever he puts someone on a line with Stahl and Martinuk, he tries to get them going. And it was trying to get Svetch going. Yep. But again, I just don't know if that's the right method to get Svetch going.
No, I don't think it is.
And I mean, I would argue that line kind of backfired with the VZ goal because they were out there on the VZ goal. Which, when I heard that, I was like, yo, you've got to be kidding me. But whatever. We won. That's the most important thing. But obviously, you tie it. And then and the turning point was that save Kochetkov made on Kreider. And then you have or I would say Roslovic was able to draw a 4-minute power play for us because he got high-sticked by Lafreniere or Fox. I believe it was Lafreniere.
The 4 minutes?
Yeah, the 4 minutes.
It was Lafreniere. It was on Roslovic after.
It was Lafreniere. Yes, it was.
I thought it was a little bit of a retaliation because Fox didn't get the call. Because Fox dove and no call. And then they go down, and then Lafreniere clips Roslovic. So it was a great shift from Roslovic in my mind anyway. That whole shift he was excellent.
Yeah, and he could have gotten more than one goal. He hit the post one time this game, but he eventually does get a goal. It's an assist from Orlov. Great pass from Orlov to Roslovic. Just great pass. And funny thing, too, Sam Kochetkov got an assist. He got 2 assists this game.
Yeah.
And I remember Brind'Amour was asked about that after this game. He was like, well, got to get the point. I'm paraphrasing what Brind'Amour said.
He said that was part of the game plan. Got to get the point somewhere.
There you go. Yep, that's what it was. But I loved his quote there. I thought that was kind of funny.
That was a good one.
Yeah, so we're up 2-1. Obviously, Sam heading into that third period, and then you have Svech scoring sorry, not Svech. You have Aho scoring the empty net from Svech and Kochetkov.
Yep.
And I mean, good for Aho, good for Svech for getting Aho the puck. But again, we need to see our star players. It's what, been 2 games
We
since,
need
well,
5-on-5.
I mean, Jarvis, yeah, 5-on-5. We just need our star players to get going. There is another step with them, and they need to get there.
Yes.
But at the same time, Sam, I mean, you only have, I mean, 4 top 6 bona fide forwards. Yeah, only so much you can do.
Yeah, I mean it's the truth. But I mean, look, you beat the Rangers. We continue to see them
Not doing well.
falter, and it is beautiful to watch the Rangers and their fan base fail.
They're wanting to get the first overall pick, Sam.
No, no, no. If they get the first overall pick, then I'm crying foul. It's the NHL doing whatever. I don't know. Is this supposed to be a good year for rookies?
It's supposed to be a decent year for rookies, but
No.
still, I mean, first overall pick, you're gonna get a good player. At least you should.
Do they even have their first overall pick?
The Rangers,
Yeah.
I think
They've made a lot of trades. Okay.
Yeah, they do. They just don't have the second, third, and the second and third round picks.
Good lord. Okay. Well,
Yep,
they might. To be fair, they also could trade that pick.
they could. Apparently,
They
I heard
still
there might be trying to do a big
splash.
trade. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes, though. So,
Got to give up to get. So
yeah, we'll see what happens, Sam. But so far, 1 win, 1 loss.
yep.
Both games ended 3-1. So,
And we get a little pre-Christmas hockey tonight as you're listening to this against Nashville. And then you get a little post-Christmas hockey against New Jersey twice. And then after that, Sam, I will be headed to the great state of Florida to cover and watch the game in Sunrise when Carolina takes on the Kitty Cats.
yeah. So, it's going to be fun. We hope you guys have a great Christmas, happy
Merry
holidays. However you want to celebrate.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. I think I listed them all, most of the 3 that I know of that are like around this time. So.
Yeah. So we will see you guys again on Friday.
Merry